Hello.
Yes, greetings, beloved. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you. Thank you. Good to be on the phone with you again. Yes. Okay, so I've been going over your chart since yesterday, as yesterday was supposed to be, the day. So I was going over your chart from yesterday, and I realized some very important things. Do you have your chart in front of you, or you just want me to just read it to you? Do you want to follow along with me, or?
No, I don't have it in front of me, actually.
Okay, no problem. As you know, this session is going to be recorded. So you don't have to. Whenever you have a time, whenever you have the time, you can just go back and follow through. I'm going to explain to you everything step by step so that you can have a good understanding. Okay. And so your natal chart is basically, as you know, your natal chart is like the day you was born, like a snapshot of where all the planets and the signs was aligned. Wherever the planets was, that's what is your natal chart. Your natal chart shows you your strengths, your weaknesses, your who you are. Your natal chart also provides you with your true destiny, which is the true know, which is the main purpose of you coming back onto this planet. And I find it very interesting that it was in the 7th house, which we're going to get into as well. Okay. Your natal chart also, okay, so your true node and then your south node. So your natal chart also explains a lot of past life information about you, which I'm going to get into. And that's basically the gist of it. So it's basically a chart that was it's just how can I say, a reflection of where all of the planets and the signs and things of that nature was aligned the day that you entered this planet. And it shows you your strengths and it shows you your weaknesses. And then it also gives you your true purpose here on this planet. Okay? So, your ascendant sign is normally in the first house, right? And your ascendant sign is, when you look at your chart, is where you see AC. And the ascendant sign normally shows you, your environment, how people view you, how you and how you also present yourself to the world, okay? And your ascendant sign is in Capricorn. Now, Capricorn is, I believe, the first earth sign, if I'm not mistaken, or probably the last. Yeah, it's the last earth sign. And Capricorn is ruled by the planetary ruler Saturn. So what this means is that you're very hardworking, okay? You're very hardworking. You strive for success, right? And it's not a matter that you strive for success, but you prefer perfection, okay? Which you prefer perfection, which relates to that 6th house energy that I'm going to also get into. But this is, again, your ascendant sign is how people view you. So people view you as a perfectionist. People view you as a hardworking person, a dedicated person, a very responsible person. Okay. Also, what this also means is that at times you could be a bit too serious. Sometimes people are like, oh, just loosen up a little bit. It's not that serious. Ascendant sign and Capricorn people make you have to be serious or have to take responsibility at a very young age, which is truly throughout your natal chart. You having to take responsibility more so on the younger side than the older side, and then two, wherever your ascendant sign is also reflects on your family. So it could be a situation where you might come from a big family, and you have to take care of your siblings, or you have to take care of the other ones. Your ascendant sign also deals with, okay, well, how your parents raised you. So your parents probably, and younger, raised you to learn how to cook, to learn how to clean, to take responsibilities, all at a younger age versus older age. You see, like, you grew up African background. I grew up like a Haitian background. Although my father's from the Congo, in my household, I had to grow up. Not had to grow up, but I was taught how to cook, how to clean at like 7, 8 years old. Versus children nowadays, they don't know anything about this. And then I also read some things. I think I bookmarked it. Dealing with spirituality as well. Oh, here it goes, right? A spiritual interpretation of Capricorn rising, which that is your ascendant sign, right? Your rising sign's symbol is the goat, an animal that seeks the highest places on the mountain. The symbol also incorporates the tail of a fish, suggesting that your roots are somehow in the water. Now, when they say somehow in the water, this is also very interesting because your sun sign is Cancer. Now, your opposite of Capricorn is Cancer. That's the opposite sign. And so your rising sign is Capricorn, but your actual sun sign is Cancer. And when I read that an animal that seeks the highest places on the mountain, that's very good. You know why? Because whenever you go up to the mountains, your senses elevate. You understand? Your senses elevate, or everything is at a higher altitude. And so this deals with manifestation. This deals with always believing in yourself, right? This also deals with being the authority, higher. You get what I'm saying? Higher consciousness, higher being. So, and what I mean by being the authority, I'm talking about you taking control and you not allowing people to take control over you. That's what this represents, right? So the symbol also incorporates the tail of a fish, suggesting that your roots are somehow in the water. The part of the body related to the sign is the knees. 2 images come to mind. You engage in the ambitious climb through your profession, seeking greater heights for its own sake, right? Meaning you keep going, you keep pushing, you want more, And, okay, so 2 ambition climb through your profession, seeking greater heights for its own sake. Yet you are able to dive into the water and use your flexible knees to move you through the water. The contrast of material upwards progress, the downward movement into the emotional realm is striking. Yet both are related to the material conditions of the living human being. Your spiritual path lies in the blending of these forces, and the material plane provides the catalyst for your spiritual development. One-sided material ambition cannot elevate you to a higher spiritual plane any more than one-sided emotional life can satisfy you completely. Together, they form the foundation from which all future progress emerges. It is from this synthesis that you can move into the next turning of your upward moving spiritual path. And so it goes on to other things, but I wanted to break this down because this is the sign where, again, your Capricorn opposite sign is Cancer, meaning the physical realm and the spiritual realm. So to the extent that you have to find, you have to find that balance. You have to find that time where, okay, the material plane is in check, right? You like perfectionist, you like to ambition, you like to take responsibility, yes. But this is also telling you that, hey, don't neglect the spiritual growth, because to the extent that you give more on the material plane, you give less to the spiritual plane. And so you get what I'm saying? Find that balance where, okay, I'm also giving to the material plane, and then when I come home or when I'm at my quiet space, I'm also giving to the spiritual realm. And again, when I say spiritual realm, it could be like an affirmation. It could be like a prayer. It could just be like a thank you to my ancestors. Something just as simple as that. You see, something just as simple as, yes.
When you read the chart, basically these are the recommendations, or this is a problem that they see rising? Because my work is in spirituality. I'm a healer, and that's what I do every day, basically. Channeling and doing rituals and praying and affirmation. So
the thing about it is, just like me, right? I do the same thing, but guess what? How many times are we coming back and we're cleansing ourselves? You understand? How many times are we coming back and again, your ascendant sign is not a problem. It's not showing you that it's a problem, but it is how people view you. And as your ascendant sign, because I didn't even go through your whole chart yet. I only went through the first one. As the ascendant sign, this is how people view you. This is your environment, as I said. So if your environment, and based on your chart, this is your chart. I'm just reading your chart. Based on your environment and how people view you, it is in the sign of Capricorn. And once it is in the sign of Capricorn, this is what it means. Okay? Because let me tell you, the planets is, when you read your natal chart, the planets is what energy is being influenced. Okay? So what energy is being influenced and things of that nature. That's the planet. The signs like Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, and stuff like that is how it is being influence. So right now, when I say that your raising or your rising sun is in Capricorn, that means that this is how you're approaching things. You're approaching things as a perfectionist. You're approaching things responsible, and again, it don't have to be necessarily like to the T, but it's attribution, is the characteristics that you have or you may not have. And this is why I'm saying it's your strengths and it is your weaknesses. When I read all of this, you take what you say, yeah, those is my strengths. Yes, okay, this is my weakness. I need to work on my weakness. I need to work more on my strengths. This is what it is. And then the houses, because I'm going to go into the houses, because when you talk about your ascendant sign is in the first house. The first house deals with personal actions. Okay? So from first house to sixth house, all deals with your personality, your identity. And then when we go from the 7th house to the 12th house, we're talking about the world and other people. Okay? So we're gonna break all of those things down. And like I said, if you are doing the rituals and the spirituality and all of these things, yes, that's good, but it may be, and that's what I have to tell myself too. Yeah, we feel like, okay, well, I'm doing this and I'm doing that and I'm getting all these good results, but and I don't know for you, but for me, I don't know how strong other people's problem is until 2 or 3 days later. That's when I pick up on it. And then I be like, I breathe heavily, or my mood changes. Or so I'm saying this to say that I'm saying this to say that to the extent that we help and heal and do good for others, how much of that we're doing for others that we're doing for ourselves. And that is what this Capricorn rising is telling you. Listen, to the extent that you deal with the material world, because again, that's an earth sign. Material, when you do rituals and stuff like that, that is external, that is not internal. You understand? Like candles, whatever it is, candles, whatever remedies you do for that is external, that is materialistic things. So again, and whatever else you may be doing, right? And so to the extent that you work with the materialistic things, how are you finding this balance with this spiritual aspect within thyself? Not with somebody else, but within yourself. That's it. Okay?
That makes sense.
Yes. Okay. And then, it goes to saying, going back to the knees, the capacity to kneel parallels your ability to climb and to swim. And when I mean climb and to swim, is like you're ascending. You're getting higher. You're going higher. Let me tell you something. A lot of the, and that's why I always try to, go sit by the water or go sit somewhere where nature speaks to me. The mountains, as a Capricorn rising, the mountains or anywhere sacred, even the forest, is a good place for you to find peace. Okay? Because if you think about it, if you really look back, even Obatala, the spirit of Obatala, where you find him, you will find him in the mountains. That is his sacred space, right? A lot of spiritualists, even in Haiti, when they say in Haiti, when you want to go and you want to really get that spiritual connection, you got to go up to the mountains. You see, and so this is what it's saying to you. Listen, to the extent that you want to raise or rise or ascend up and up and up and up, for your own self-conscious, you also have the adaptability to have this flexibility where you can swim in the waters. And anytime you see water, as you know, you're a Cancer, right? As you know, when anytime you see the waters, we talking about spiritual ascension. We're talking about emotions. We're talking about feelings. We're talking about, and then too, for you is the ancestral realm. You see, water. When you was in your mother's womb, where you were surrounded by water. You see, so this is just giving you a little bit more explanation on your characteristics, the good and the bad. Yeah. Okay, or I should say the strengths and the weakness. All right. So then that is with your ascendant sign, right? So then going in, which is the first house, going into the second house, right? Now the second house deals with values. The second house deals with values, deals with your possessions and things of that nature, right? The second house is normally ruled by Taurus, which is the appreciator, right? But you have your moon sign in the second house, but how it's being influenced, again, how it's being influenced is the signs, right? And what is affecting you or what is influencing you is Aquarius. Now, Aquarius is the humanitarian one. Aquarius is like the people's person. Aquarius likes to be popularity. You get what I'm saying? Aquarius don't deals with the individual aspect, but it deals with like a group of people. And so if the group that you yourself, if the group that you are coaching and guiding is not appreciating you, because again, it's in the second house, and again, the houses is The houses is where it's happening, right? And it's happening in the second house of possession and values. So you value your spiritual work. You value what you do. You put so much work into what you do. You strive for perfection, and so if the people that you engage in, if they do not accept you, or rather the group that you engage in, if they don't appreciate you, then that's when it becomes a little bit emotional for you. You see, that's when it becomes like, in a sense, it could even become emotional to the point where you want to do better. And again, take what I'm saying to you as a timeline of things. It don't have to be you as an adult. It could be you as an adolescent. It could be you as a child. Okay. And so when you have your moon, because the moon always represents your emotions, right? The moon represents your feelings, because your planetary ruler is the moon, right? And so the moon just deals with your emotions, how you feel, how you express yourself, etc., etc. So if it's in the second house and you are expressing and you are very emotional about your the things that you value, or your work, or even your personal relationships, and if outside sources, okay, do not value you, then that's when things become emotional. That's when how can I say, friction comes. That's when you want to rebel. That's when you want to say, you know what? I don't think that these people are accepting me. Probably I need to find another group. Probably I need to, and even you being on YouTube and seeing different people. And if they don't resonate with the same language that you speak, probably I need to go to someone else. You see, that's what this moon in the second house, which is influenced by Aquarius, mean. So in overall, this means that for those that do not value your value or take heed to the things that you portray, you as a group, you will be very emotional. Hence, which leads to rebellion, which leads to change. You see, because the second house of Taurus also deals with power, also deals with success, also deals with competition. And so if you don't feel like you are gaining any power, like as if you're in a group, right? If you're in a group and you just feel drained, then your spirit, if you're in tune with yourself, as I feel that you are, if you're in tune with yourself, your spirit is going to say, no, you can't go back to those people. You can't go back to that group, because first of all, you're not in power, and there's some type of imbalance going on. And so change the setting, change your environment, change your group, because emotionally you will get drained. And this happens a lot with people that does spiritual work. You see. Okay, including myself. I'm no different. And that's why for us, we have to constantly, rather we saging ourselves down, we asking every time. And that's why with me, sometimes remember yesterday I said, can you give me a second? I just got off the phone, because I'm going into meditation. I'm cleansing myself. After every session that I do with my clients, I'm cleansing in between. Or I'm like chanting in between to just balance myself out. That's what I do. Okay. So, the third house, you don't have any planets there. Okay, so there's no energy being influenced there. The fourth house, you don't have any planets there, but you do have your Chiron in your fifth house, right? Your Chiron in the fifth house. And It is influence, and again, the signs mean is how you're going to do this. It is influenced by Taurus, which we just finished talking about, right? Now let me break this down to you, right? The 5th house deals with creativity and pleasures, okay? Which I find this to be very interesting. The 5th house deals with creativity and pleasures. Now, your Chiron is where you've been wounded at, right? Is what they call it is like your the great wounded healer, right? Meaning anything that you've gone through early on in your years, or even in your childhood years, right? Or even right now, okay? And so remember what I just finished telling you, that Taurus represents the sign that is the appreciator, right? Now, the 5th house deals with pleasures and creativity. You have your Chiron there. In the sign that rules the 5th house is Leo. Leo deals with identity. And so in your early years, or even now, it could be a situation where your family did not allow you to be who you are, your identity. They probably did not accept that you had, quote unquote, like they say, spiritual powers or spiritual awakening. They did not accept who you wanted to be, or rather, I'm not going to say accept. They did not appreciate what you had to offer. Okay, they did not appreciate what you had to offer. And again, it could be even up until now, where your close friends and your family do not appreciate who you are and who your true identity is. And this right here makes you battle with yourself. This Chiron, because again, you've been wounded. Say, for example, you're at war and you've been hurt. You've been wounded. You got to get back, right? You got to get better. And so the way I always tell my clients to get better from your Chiron is by, listen, being unapologetically who you are. You cannot hide, or you cannot dim who you are just to please other people. You cannot do that, because your Chiron is again, it's your chart. You get what I'm saying? This is your chart. This is not a reading, blah, blah. This is your chart here. This is what it's telling me. It's telling me that in your 5th house, if you are not being your true self, being your true identity, if people are not accepting you, and I'm not saying more so like people, I'm speaking specifically to your family and your close friends. If they are not appreciating your true self, which your identity and your way of life, then you're always going to have this battle within thyself. So the question to you is, do you want to continue to battle, or do you want to come out of being wounded and show your true identity, or rather continue to show your true identity to the world? That is what this is. This is the question that has to be asked. You understand? Because your Chiron, where you've been wounded at, is in the 5th house of identity, pleasures, and creativity. And so, even, like I said, early in your childhood, like say, for example, if you knew how to cook better than your sister, but your sister, oh, you don't know how to cook. You know what I'm saying? Oh, no, she don't know how to clean. Oh, no, she don't know how to do that. Oh no, and you know you do. Oh no, she don't know how to sing. Oh no, she don't know how to do that. You get what I'm saying? Oh, you know, just basically shunning or sunning your talent. You see? Yeah. And so what happens is as you grow up, you don't want to show it too much because of what you've gone through. You don't want to keep experienced people putting you down. Oh, you don't know how to do. Oh, this is what you do. You sure you know how to do that? You know? And so that's, at times, that can make somebody not be so expressive of who they are. But then I say, come on, it's damn near 2018. Like, what are you doing here? Are you still going, are you still going to, keep your identity a secret? Or I would say, this is what I would say. I would say, hey, if that's the case, just, if you're having a battle with your family, just don't talk about them with them. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully that will help. Just don't talk about it with them, because it's never going to be. You're always gonna feel wounded. You're always gonna feel not appreciative, because again, your Taurus is the sign that is influencing the aspect of your Chiron in the 5th house. So you're not gonna feel appreciative, you see, or appreciated when talking to these family members or these people that are not respecting your true identity. Does that make sense to you?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Again, like I said, knowing this in your chart helps you to understand life a little bit better. You understand? Helps you to understand that you're going to be faced with these kind of things. So it's good, All right.
Yeah.
So now, which is very interesting, you have in your 6th house, right? You have your sun sign in your 6th house, right? Influenced by Cancer, 0 degrees in Cancer. And then you have Mercury in your 6th house, going into Cancer as well. And then you have Venus influenced by Cancer, but that's in your 7th house, which I'm going to break that down. But you have Gemini, right? You have Mars in the 6th house, your Sun in the 6th house, and also Mercury in the 6th house. Now, your Mercury is the planetary ruler of the 6th house. Okay, Mercury is the planet of mentality. Mercury is the planet of networking as well, because it also governs Gemini. Okay, now your Sun is where you're focused at. Is also known as your personal actions as well, is where you're focused at. And Mars is there too, right? But it's influenced by Gemini. But with Mars and Mercury and your Sun all in the 6th house, means that you're very passionate. Again, you strive for perfection. And it also means that you are a people's service to the people. You get what I'm saying? Service to, like, servicing the people, servicing the public, servicing those that are ill, that needs help. Rather it is through diet, you get what I'm saying? Diet wise or spiritual wise. Because when we talk about the 6th house, we talk about the 6th house, the planetary rule, the sign that governs the 6th house is Virgo. So we're dealing with that Oshun energy, you see, which is in your 6th house, right? The Oshun, which is the Oshun energy. And so, but see, the key here is that, you definitely want to not overthink things through, right? Do not also, if things is not perfect, quote unquote, if things is not perfect, you don't have to beat yourself up, right? Damn, I wanted this to go this way, didn't go this way. Damn, I worked so hard for this, and I try to help this person, and this person never, don't beat yourself up. This is what this 6th house and all of these planets in the 6th house is telling you to do, especially with this Mercury there. Mercury in the 6th house is always going to make you keep overthinking. You keep thinking. And sometimes compulsive thinking is what drives somebody crazy. And then the main fact that you have Mars in the same house, Mars is the planetary ruler of force, of sexuality. And so you may even, being that it's in the 6th house, you may even come off like a very sexual person, you see. And you're not trying to be, but you come off like that. That's good. That is good. That is good in your marriage, but it can like give the wrong impression outside of your marriage at times, right? And again, the sixth house is the last sign, or the last house, or you can say sign as well, that deals with personality. So in any event, you get what I'm saying, ambitious about your health and your service and your things of that nature. You're very ambitious with doing that. Also, the sixth house, in the sun in the sixth house, which is influenced by Cancer. That means that you can have issues. You may have health issues, rather, in your uterus, the breast, okay, your intestines, right, your stomach, and what else? I believe that's it. Yeah, your breast. You might have, like, so you want to check from time to time, right? The uterus, your uterus, and then like the stomach and the intestines. That's what I believe. Cancer slash Virgos governs, because again, Cancer is the sign that governs the ancestral realm and birth as well. And so you got, like I said, you have the sign of Cancer that shines on your sixth house with your sun inside of it. And so this just represents that you are a natural healer. You are a nurturer. You get what I'm saying? So I'm not for sure, you didn't fully explain what your spiritual practice means, but I will conclude based on your chart that it represents something dealing with somebody being ill to now somebody being well. You get what I'm saying? Rather it's through herbs, rather it's through energy work, or rather it is through just consultation. This is what I will assume that it represents, because again, you will come up with the remedy. You'll come up with the remedy. You'll come up with the solution. That's what Virgos, or rather, this is what this Mercury in the sixth, this Mercury, this Sun, and this Mars in the sixth house represents for you. And then two, Mars is not influenced by Cancer, but it's influenced by Gemini. And Gemini is like the Geminis is the informers, okay, of the zodiac sign. They're the informers. I always say that Geminis is like the cousin of Pisces. You get what I'm saying? Because they are able to tap into both the physical realm and the spiritual realm. And so if you have Gemini, which is influencing this Mars energy in the sixth house, that means truly and honestly to tap into, like I said, going back to that Capricorn rising, going back to the balance of spirit and material plane, physical plane, spirit plane, material plane. You understand? Meaning feel things out more, rather than asking questions or trying to figure it out on a mental brain, instead of feeling things on a subconscious brain. You see, because that Mercury in the sixth house will drive you crazy. Basically, it will drive you crazy, because if things is not doesn't turn out the way, in a sense, you put your power in, then you take it very hard,
Yeah.
And it's okay. You get what I'm saying? Because we live, we learn. Sometimes we lose some and we win some. We can't always be the winner and stuff. You know, sometimes things is lessons for us. We can't always receive blessings. That's how I'm gonna put it to you. Okay. Especially dealing with this health and this spirituality. We can't save everybody. I've learned that. You get what I'm saying? I've learned that I can't save everybody. I wasn't successful in saving all of the marriages that I intended to save last year. I couldn't save. I saved the majority of them, right? But I couldn't save all of them. And I'm okay. You know? All right. Now, this is where it really gets interesting, right? So, that's this. Do you have any questions thus so far?
Oh. No, everything is on point.
Okay, great. All right. So good. So now the 7th house, right? The 7th house deals with marriage, deals with partnerships and things of that nature. And you have Venus. Yeah. You have the planetary ruler Venus, and you know Venus deals with attraction, deals with love, deals with prosperity. And Venus, I believe, actually rules the 7th house of Libra, right? Because the 7th house deals with Libra, balance, righteousness. What else? Balance, righteousness, justification, and things of that nature. Discipline as well, right? But you have Cancer that is influencing this Venus in the 7th house. But you also have your true node in the 7th house, right? But your true node is influenced by Leo, which is your identity. Now, let me explain something to you, right? In your past life, you was a loner. This is what this means, right? In your past life, you was a loner. Okay? It was all about you. You didn't want to be bothered. You understand, like, listen, you're being selfish, okay? Because, again, what is influencing this true node is Leo. And Leo deals with yourself, deals with identity, the ego, okay? So in your past life, it was all about you. It was not about partnership. It wasn't about marriage or anything like that, okay? And so when you reincarnate, boom, now your true node is in the 7th house, telling you that in your marriage or in any partnership that you do, like me and you, we have a partnership. Why? Because it's a balance. It's an equal exchange here, right? You learn from me, I learn from you, I teach you, you teach me, right? Balance. And so it should never be, I'm going to put it like this. In your marriage, it should never be a competition, but it should never be a competition, but cooperation. Yeah, that's what I'm going to say. It should always be this cooperation thing between me and you. Meaning, okay, flexibility in a sense. You understand? Because in this lifetime, you've came back onto this planet to be loved. You came back onto this planet for marriage. To understand that, listen, I don't have to be selfish. I can give back. You get what I'm saying? Because again, it is being influenced by the Venus energy, is being influenced by Cancer. Cancer is the sign of nurturing in the ancestral realm and family. That's the house of family. Cancer is the house of family. And so Venus is boosting this true node, meaning your husband or your mate, perhaps it helps you to be successful financially wise. You get what I'm saying? He probably helps you to be successful, or helps you, helps you in a way to be who you are. That is that partnership. That is the situation where you understand, listen, you have to give yourself, you have to give back. It's not only about you, because like I said, in your past life, you was a loner. You didn't want to be bothered with nobody else. You wanted to be by yourself. So now the universe is like, oh, she has to learn how to give. She has to learn how to be diplomatic in a partnership or in a marriage. She has to learn to find this balance where it's an equal exchange with things. And then I'm going to tell you one thing. If you're in a relationship or if you're in a situation where you're giving and this person is not giving back, then you're gonna ego trip. You're gonna say, you know what? I could be independent on my damn self. I don't need you. You know what? Wait, what? This person is doing what? Oh, hell no. I could do this by myself. I don't need this person, because it's very quick for you to go into that because of your true node being influenced by Leo. Leo is a sign of the ego, identity, the self. And so with you, if you are not receiving that, you know, equal exchange, that balance and that stuff like that, or that love, the love attraction, then somewhere down the line it's gonna take a turn. Okay?
Yeah.
Somewhere down the line is gonna take a turn. But definitely you came back onto this planet to experience this marriage and this bond and this family, you know, even dealing with your nieces and your nephews and children. You understand? Like, you definitely came back onto this planet to be this nurturer to them all. And to not always, it's not always about you. It's about them too. You know, with your husband, or even with your, you know, your family is like, oh, well, I got this work to do. I got this to do. I got this to do. I got this. Listen, it's not always about I got this to do. It's giving back to them as well. This is what this means right here. Your true note. Okay. So again, the 7th house deals with partnership and marriage, and also deals with balance and you know, love and attraction and beauty as well. You get what I'm saying? Beauty, loving yourself and things of that nature. But the only way that you can do so is if you are your purest self. If you're not fronting, as they say here. You're not fronting. You're not being somebody else and trying to how can I say it? Trying to put on a face. You're not trying to be somebody else in front of other people, and then behind doors or in another place you are who you are. It's not gonna work out, good sister. You know, and that's why I said your chart it tells you your strengths and then your weaknesses. Okay, so you don't have any planets in the 8th house. Okay. You do have planets in the 9th house. Now, the 9th house is ruled by Sagittarius, right? The 9th house of Sagittarius, right? And, excuse me, the 9th house deals with mental exploration, the mind, okay? Thinking. And it's interesting because you have Scorpio, okay, which is influencing Uranus in your 9th house, and you also have Neptune. No, let me make sure about this. Scorpio, Jupiter. No, that's Saturn. That's the planetary ruler, Saturn. But Jupiter. Let me make sure. Okay, Jupiter is, okay, they both in, okay, alright, give me 1 second, hold on, Scorpio, okay, Virgo, okay, good, okay, ooh, alright, so you have in your 9th house, you have 2 planets there, right? You have Saturn, which I already told you is the planetary ruler of Capricorn, right? Saturn is like the father of the planets, right? Saturn is like Saturn. They relate Saturn to be Osiris, the father. You get what I'm saying? The one that takes the one that takes responsibility. And then two, you also have Jupiter. You also have Jupiter in that same house of the in that same house, which is the ninth house of mental exploration, expansion, meaning, but how it's being done, or how you like to expand, right? How you like to do it is you like to do this as a Libra, meaning balance. So again, the Jupiter is the planetary ruler that deals with opportunities, okay? And then Saturn is the one that deals with challenges and stuff. And so if you are not challenging your own mental mind, okay, or if you're not finding, again, the balance with your right brain and your left brain, okay, it will be very challenging for you to receive opportunities. Okay, and that goes back to when I was saying to you of the overthinking. Stop overthinking, because once you start to overthink, you're gonna miss something. You see, and mental exploration deals with. When you talk about mental exploration, is like researching, doing lots of researching, traveling. You get what I'm saying? Traveling from place to place to figure things out. Sometimes you need to travel. Sometimes you need to travel to Miami just to get a break from whatever.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Sometimes you need to travel just to get a peace of mind. You see, and so you won't feel so much challenge, because again, what are you trying to do? You're trying to find balance. Yes. Within thyself. Again, Libra also deals with the peacemaker. And so everything that you're going through is a reflection of what is happening in your mental mind. That's what is happening. Yeah. And so if you're battling somebody else, hey, wait, let me sit back. You get what I'm saying? Let me really figure out what is happening internally, because I need peace within myself. Because let me tell you something, good sister. You know the reason why sometimes you can't go to sleep at night? Because you're being challenged. Because you're not following you're not going down into that rabbit hole and really coming out with, again, your true identity. You're allowing the external to influence the internal. You see, you're allowing the external to influence the internal, and that's why your Saturn is in the ninth house. Like, okay, you wanna say that you're this, you wanna say that you're free, you wanna say that you know all of these things. Okay, I'm gonna challenge you, and when I challenge you, that's when you're gonna get these opportunities that you're claiming to want, or you claiming to have desires of. Once you are balanced between the left brain and the right brain, meaning the mental and the subconscious, then more opportunity. You're just aligning yourself with the opportunities that's already out there for you. That's what that means. Again, that's what that means. The Saturn and Jupiter in the ninth house, influenced by this Libra energy. You see, okay? And again, Libra deals with the peacemaker, justice, balance, purification. Anything that you feel Ma'a, the deity of Ma'a represents, that is what Libra represents. The scales, the kidneys. At times, the kidneys, because sometimes too, with that alignment, you may find that you may become a bit too dehydrated, because you are too occupied in other things, and you're not hydrating yourself. And what happens is you affect the kidneys. The kidneys are not being properly flushed out. That's that Libra energy. Because you're overthinking about other things and you're not even paying attention to the inner you. You see. Okay? And then the midhaven is the impression you. You know, where you see MC, you're going to go and you're going to see your chart. You're going to see MC, right? And let me just make sure the MC is in Libra as well, which is very interesting. Your MC is in Libra. And MC is like the impression you, the career. This is the house of careers, right? The 10th house is the MC, is the house of careers, opportunities, environment, community, public life, public figure, right? And so you have the planetary ruler Pluto there. Okay, that is the planet that is happening. So that is the planet that is here. Again, the planet tells you what's happening here. The house tells you where it's happening. Okay, and the sign is how it's being done. And so what's happening here is that it's a regeneration thing. Okay, regeneration, and Pluto deals with intensity. Pluto deals with regeneration. It could be regenerating yourself, right? Through communities, through the outside world and stuff like that. And that's why I said to you, with your moon in your second house, if the group that you are pouring your emotions into is not valuing you, then you need to find another group, which now answers, or which now completes, or which now, how can I say, relates to this Pluto in the 10th house. Because if you are not accepted in the groups or the people that you are working with, then the feelings and the emotions that gonna run through you is gonna be very intense. To the point where again, Pluto also deals with death and rebirth. Meaning, listen, I gotta end this group so that something new can come about. I gotta not be with this situation so that I can be reborn again. Regeneration. And if you know for sure, and again, this doesn't even have to be as an adult. I'm talking about a timeline of things. And so if you know for sure that this group or this community or these people that you're dealing with is not on the same magnitude with you, or is not bringing about, can you hear me? Hello? Uh-oh. Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, that was your phone or mine?
No, that was mine because there was a huge thunder.
You really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So it affected the internet, I think.
That was good. That was good. That was good. That was good. Oh, that was good. That was good.
Yeah.
That was really, really, really good. That's a very good sign. That is a very good sign. Okay. I'm telling you, that is a very good sign. Okay. And so I'm glad that happened. So when we talk about and that's what I'm saying, if people are not, in your corner, or the group that you choose, and it doesn't even have to be now, it could even be in your near future, that you want to expand, you want to expand yourself, you want to keep going and stuff like that. And if the group that you, or the people that you find yourself with, is not balancing you, okay, then your emotions towards the outside world or the community world is going to run wild. It's going to be very intense. You might even have these feelings like, damn, should I continue to go on with it or should I not? Should I continue to go on? Should I not? And you might even burn yourself. Meaning you might even put yourself in a situation knowing, hey, you know what, but I want to give it a chance. You know? And because Pluto is also the sign that teaches you long lessons. Meaning you could be associated with a group of people for a very long time knowing damn well that these people is not bringing you balance, but you still be in it because you're trying to, okay, let me see if it's going to improve. Let me see if it's going to improve. Let me see if it's going to improve. And the more that it doesn't improve, your emotions intensifies to the point where that old you has to die so that the new you can come about. Because again, your midhaven where you see MC is in the 10th house. The 10th house represents community, outside people, other people, careers and stuff. So even with the work that you do or the work that you're going to continue to do, if you're not finding a very easy, harmonious relationship, then there's going to be a lot of lessons that you're going to be learning here. Which, I don't know how many people like to go through mistakes. And again, mistakes is good because you learn from mistakes. It's very good learning lessons. Okay?
But we have to learn and move on.
We have to learn and move on. And that's good. That's regeneration. Yeah. That's regeneration, which is Pluto. Okay? And so you have... And then in your 11th house, now your 11th house deals with friendship, deals with aspirations. Your 11th house is usually is the home of Aquarius, which is the rebel, right? The humanitarian one. And so you have let me make sure. I believe this is Uranus. Yep. You have Uranus in your 11th house, which is good because Uranus is the planetary ruler. So Uranus is actually at home when we're dealing with this 11th house thing. But, before I say that, but Uranus is the planetary ruler that brings about uniqueness, brings about change, okay? And what is influencing this is, again, the sign is how it's being done. And how it's being done is like a Scorpio. And so Scorpio is the sign of, how can I say, intimacy, transformation. Like you like to basically transform people. That goes back to what I said about your 6th house, health and servicing. So anything that, not anything, but the majority of your services, yes, should be with transforming people, but transforming people in a very spiritual and unique way. You have your own way, but it's very, very unique. It's very, 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 very brilliant, as I would say. Okay? Even with transforming and helping your friendship. You understand? Helping people to understand their spiritual content. Helping even you may be even somebody that may be good with relationships. You understand? Counseling people with their relationships. Seeing the good and seeing the bad in everything. You see, but in a very unique way where people is like, oh wow, I didn't even think about it like that, and then they're able to make their own changes because again, Uranus is a planet that's going to bring about changes. You're gonna always change. So with you might even be a person that really don't even have a lot of friends because you're always moving forward. You're always changing. You understand? You're always like, okay, well, hey, you don't agree with me, then it's nothing else that I can tell you. This is what the truth is, and that's it. Yeah. You know? Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. So understanding this, some people say, well, why don't I have a lot of friends? Or Well, let's look at your chart. You understand? Let's look at your chart and figure out why you don't have a lot of friends. Let's look at your chart and see why you do have a lot of friends. Okay? And so that's the 11th house. The 11th house of that's what this Uranus in the 11th house represents, influenced by Scorpio. Okay? And so when we go to the 12th house, which is the last house, right? When we go to the 12th house, we see that Neptune is at home. Okay. Neptune is at home. However, what is influencing Neptune is Sagittarius. Now, Sagittarius is the sign, like I said, is the sign of exploring, travel, the mentality as well. And so the main fact that it is influencing the 12th house, and again, the 12th house deals with subconscious. That goes back to what I kept telling you in terms of finding the balance between your mentality and your subconscious mind. Because once you begin to continue to because the mind is going to play tricks on you all the time. That's what that Neptune energy is there. The mind is always going to play, but you have to dig deeper. You have to explore it. You have to test it. You understand? Test your powers. That's what I'm going to say to you with that alignment. Let's begin now to test your powers a little bit more. Push yourself. You are a perfectionist. You love the challenge. You get what I'm saying? Push yourself, not for the people, but push yourself for yourself to see what else can I do spiritually. Because Neptune is home. Neptune is home. Neptune is going to give you the answers. Most of the things that may come to you so harmoniously, like just now, that thunderstorm. That is a big time sign. Oh, well, what does that mean? That is the energy of the spirit realm. You see, thunder, lightning, light. You see,
I work a lot with lightning and thunder.
That's what.
It's the fastest way for me to know that I'm aligned is I'm thinking something or I'm doing something. Thunder happens.
And that's why, and automatically when you said that the thunder hits, you see how for me automatically when you said the thunder hits, I said yes. That is a good sign.
Yeah.
That is a good sign. Because I'm a Pisces. The 12th house of Neptune, that's me, my house. So I'm not gonna be thinking, probably something. No, I automatically knew that it has something to do with us, as well as basically a reflection of what is happening here. Thunder, lightning, light, information, you see, that is being given to you that, like you said, you work with thunder. So you always say to yourself, okay, well, what's the information, or is what I'm hearing, is it true? Give me a sign. So this natal chart that I'm doing for you, this is a sign to help you get further on with your spirituality. This is the truth. You see, this is a sign from the spirit realm. And so with this being said, you want to work more with your dream world, okay? You want to explore more with the dream world. You want to, in a sense, if you have amethyst, you want to work with amethyst a little bit more. You also, what your spirit guides is saying, that you also want to work with going and being in the sun a little bit more, activating, allowing you to be exposed to the sunlight to activate the pineal gland.
Okay,
activate the pineal gland so that your subconscious mind, you can explore the subconscious mind very easily versus, damn, am I hearing right, or am I seeing right? Because Neptune is the sign of, is the planet of deception. Neptune, I'm telling you, an obscurity. Neptune will play with you. Neptune will play with you. If you're not on point, if you're not in alignment, oh no, Neptune will make you. I'm telling you, I've experienced many times. Neptune, and then the main fact that you have Sagittarius there, it's like you're gonna want to keep digging and exploring and going, and again, and it's good for you because that helps you to balance out who you truly are when digging deeper into your spirituality. I'm done. That's how I'm gonna leave it. Okay. So do you have any? Yes, thank you so much. I'm so glad that you finally got your natal chart read. Yeah, you see how it's different, right? It's very detailed and exactly based on your date of birth. It's not messages from spirit guide, but it is very specific. And
and it's very precise.
Yes,
that's what I like about it.
Yes. Yeah. Well, it depends on the person who's reading it. You know what I'm saying? Because many people say that again.
Yeah. No, I'm saying that just and I feel it's about listening to yourself, and that's why the last time we talked, you just mentioned this is something you might want to try, and I told you let's do it immediately, because I had no doubt about it, and from the beginning when you spoke, I told you it's on point, everything. I don't even have a question.
So good. So the thing about it is, I'm gonna upload this, and then you can even. I think that's the thunder again. Oh, if that's the thunder again. I think that's the thunder again. Well, okay, beloved. Well, on this recording, I'm going to say thank you for giving me the opportunity. I'm sure you will call back again. May the Creator continue to bless you abundantly on your journey. I will wait till you call me back to get the permission to upload this publicly or privately. Peace.